Good evening, everyone. It's time to start. I know there are several people we're still waiting for, so we'll just start, and they will probably log in somewhere the first 3 to 5 minutes. Good evening. Special welcome to Roula. She will probably pronounce her name when she starts speaking. That's more easy. Welcome to this online wave of female wave of change, facing challenges. Well, we all are, especially in this time. So it's a great subject. Just some practical information. During the webinar, all microphones will be muted. That's very important. If you have any questions or feedback, or you want to share something with Roula, please use the chat box. After her presentation, we will have a lot of time for interaction. So you will have your time to speak. So, but if you do want to share something, please use the chat box. You can use your camera. I know, well, Sandra, I see that she's, I know there's a reason that she is not using her camera right now. But be aware, this wave is going to be recorded, and starting tomorrow morning, it will be online. It will be on YouTube, it will be on our website. So all your friends who are not able to join us tonight will be able to see it afterwards. Just a short information about the female wave of change. We only started in January of this year. Very excited of what has been happening over the past 6 months. We're growing really fast. The online waves is getting more and more known to a lot of people. But why did we start? And that's very important. Because we live in a very fast and changing world, and especially the changes because of the technology, because of artificial intelligence, robotica, things like that. A lot of people will be losing their jobs. There will be a lot of impact on the workforce. Losing your job and not having any jobs in return, that means that you'll have to take your own responsibility to create your own future. And that is what female wave of change is very much about. Embrace change and transform that change into new opportunities together, and that's very important. How? Connecting, and especially building bridges, sharing knowledge and experience. So there's a lot of people who have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience, and we want to do it the feminine way. So a lot of feminine energy, a lot of feminine values, but that doesn't mean that it is male or female, but it is more the feminine way. And then, of course, building, embracing that change is what I already said, and transform it into new opportunities together, and that's very important. You can find us everywhere: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. There's a lot of things happening. The online waves right now, every 2 weeks. And very new is that starting September, so that's starting the next month, tomorrow, there will be online waves coming from the Asia region. It will be Jerry from Singapore, who will be broadcasting every 2 weeks as well. So that's very exciting. And the first local events are starting. So we have on October 3rd, there will be an event in Melbourne, Australia, organized by our ambassador in Melbourne, Debbie Lee. So it's growing fast internationally, and it's really excited to see all these new faces and to welcome all these people with great backgrounds, who with a great vision what will happen towards the future and how we can create that future. Well, something very exciting for us right now is the global kickoff wave that will be organized on September 19th in the Netherlands. We will have a great lineup of speakers. There will be a leadership panel with experts from that field. You know, we want to create those more female, feminine leaders and change makers, so that leadership panel is for us is very important that day. There will be breakout sessions, and especially during those breakout sessions, we will start that wave of creating those new opportunities. So the speakers will hand us some challenges, and we will work with the participants to find solutions to those challenges we will be facing in the future. So a lot happening. People who want to register for the early bird prize, that's today is the last day, so it's good to see that we had a lot of registrations today, last minute decisions, but people will be able to register tomorrow as well, of course. Like many platforms, you know, we want to grow, and especially if we see what is happening right now. There's so many people who want to join, who want to participate, who want to be part of that female wave of change. Of course, we need our income streams, and we would love you to be our friends, our best friends. You will find a lot of information on the Support Female Wave of Change page on the website. Well, that was all the practical information for now. We're very excited to introduce you to Roula. We met Roula, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago. She approached us and said, well, you know, I want to know more about the female wave of change and how can I participate. Roula lives in the Middle East, and she will probably tell you more about it. And we're very excited that she accepted our invitation to become ambassador for the Middle East. But that's not all she can do for tonight. The floor is yours, Roula.
Thank you. Good evening for everyone, and thank you for this. I'm really honored today that we will be sharing some of our stories and how I personally overcome some challenges, and I'm still doing it. So let's start. I want to share with you one second. Desktop.
Yes.
And here we are. Okay. So you're seeing a little bit the presentation? Everyone is seeing the presentation? Yeah. Okay, great. Good. So as Joshua Main said, challenges is what make life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Tonight, I'm really honored to share with you some of my tips that I use usually when I want to overcome challenges, and I'm still doing that maybe, and sometimes I'm using more than these because of what life is helping us to know and to experiment more things and tips and techniques. There is not anything that this is the magical recipe, but after all, we just have ingredients. Sometimes we put an ingredient before another one, and sometimes it's like that it happens and we move forward in life. Some of my techniques that I used or my tips, they are known by everyone, but it's the way that we are using them and when we are using them. in order to move forward and to resolve all the problems. In the past, before knowing these issues, I used to dream, wish, and hope. Now I plan, act, and succeed. Yes, I do, and I'm telling that I'm happy to say that I'm succeeding in everything that I'm doing, because if it's not a success story, it's a learning. So it's an opportunity for me to move a step forward. If we're asking the question, is it easy to overcome challenges? It's the same question as if I'm asking an architect to go and to replace a lawyer during a court. It's not about only the know-how. It's always about practicing, how we can move forward and practicing, practicing, and practicing. Every time we are facing a challenge, wherever it is, it will be easier the next time we will be facing another one. At least if it's not the same, it's similar. Nothing is easy and all is possible. I start to build a habit in my mindset, and I started to see a great opportunity in every challenge I'm facing. It's still not easy, but it's still energizing me to move ahead. When I noticed that obstacles are not blocking my path and that they are the path, all my perception and attitude changed, honestly. I believed in myself and all that I am. I felt that there is something inside me greater than any obstacle, and this gave me more self-confidence in myself. Let me share with you a little story about what happened and how I arrived, or I'm here now and today. A few years ago, when I delivered my third kid, my third child, I was a general manager in an American franchise in Lebanon. And for me, it was the career. It was something that I will not lose for anything in life. Later on, I noticed that with three kids, I won't be able to manage home, work, inside, outside, personal and professional life. And I felt that I should choose a priority. I chose my family. And I decided to quit my job and stay at home and more work, give more time for my family and my friends. It wasn't so easy. After a long time and experience at the professional level, I felt that it's not easy when you usually wake up in the morning, dress, go out, work, and finish some tasks and achieve some goals. I found myself every morning going up, waking up, just washing, doing laundry, cooking, dressing, and taking care of kids. At the end of the day, I still have washing to do, laundry to work, and so on. So for me, it was like ungrateful work, and it will not finish, and I will not arrive anywhere. The other problem that I faced also is that we as a family, we were used to have on a financial basis two salaries, mine and my husband's. Uh, when I quit my job, I found myself with a half salary and three children. So it wasn't so easy to manage the financial part also. And for me, it wasn't. It was really so hard to take all this one shot and one time. It was a big challenge. Uh, but to tell you the truth, I passed through like stress, a lot of stress, body, mind, all over me, and I was spreading negative vibes all over. So it wasn't the happy life that I was leading. And at the end, um, it was a little bit like a depression, but without using any medication, just feeling so stressed, unhappy, and I didn't know what to do. And thanks God, because one of the major issues whenever we are facing challenging, um, we might have faith somehow, somewhere. And whenever we have faith, we find that in a way we'll have some people in front of us, they are here for a reason. And as we know, everything happens for a reason. There are no accidents in life, only purposes. So I believe in that, and I believe stronger now, because every big challenge that I was facing in life, I was having like a mentor or someone who's helping in a way, either in an awareness way or technical way or whatever. And this is what happened. I met a friend, and he was telling me, this friend was telling me what's happening here. You are talking about challenging challenges, and you're having a lot of problems, but let's go into more details. Let's identify the challenges that you are facing. What are these challenges? And this is what happened. I started to enumerate and to say what's going on, what's missing in my life, and what are the challenges. These many challenges that whenever I went through, for example, it was about the financial issue, it was about the kids, how should I work with them or raise them in a happy way, and I'm not happy at the end, or it was about my professional status. All these, when I stated them, it was like mini goals to achieve. And I started to set these goals and these mini goals. Major challenge I was facing appeared as unachievable when viewed as a whole. For that, I started to dissect them into smaller problems to resolve. Each small challenge I was facing was viewed as a short-term goal for me. Combining a number of short-term goals lead to the delivery of medium-term goals. And then I will lead to the long-term goal. Which is nice in all that, when I started to set goals, it gives me more energy that it's doable and it's achievable. Especially that every time I was setting a goal, I was trying to put it in a way achievable and at the same time ambitious. Because every time I wanted to do anything, I was going to step out of my comfort zone. To tell you the truth, it's not so easy whenever we're not used to step out of our comfort zone. Once done, it's very nice to move forward and to feel that it's a new habit you acquire in a positive way, that you will be searching for more challenges or more energy in your life to be always in a positive way, seeing things and resolving issues. So one of my goals, once I set these goals, I started to put a plan, how I should move forward in each one and what are my priorities. One of my first goals that I set, it was about personal development learning. I wanted to know more about me first and about what's happening to be a better leader or a good communicator, or what's happening around all over the world, because with all my professional career that I had, I was always leaded by someone or giving some instructions. We didn't have a lot of trainings. In Lebanon, it wasn't something so important to invest in employees and to work on them. So it was really about your own personal development learning, that it counts. And one of these important learning that I had, it was about love, and love what matters, which means for me it was something that without love we cannot move forward, and we cannot um, overcome these challenges. What I mean by love, it's not only love between a man or a woman, it was about love, about the passion in everything we're doing. Even when I was doing something that I don't like too much, like cooking, for example, at the beginning it was my nightmare to go and cook. It was a big problem for me. Later on, when I changed my mindset and I said I should do it, so let's do it with love, let's do it with a positive attitude, it became easier for me to overcome this challenge. I'm giving you a small example maybe about cooking, but on a daily life we might have more issues. And whenever it comes to everyone, each one of us here, maybe you will have your own example to give it. So for me, it was about, definitely about how we can do things in a positive way with love and passion. Also, I read a lot of motivational books. I followed a lot of motivational speakers and surfed the net on motivational quotes. It became as if my daily and my daily ritual. Every day I start up my day with this package in a way that I feel we can start a new day. And to tell you the truth, at the moment, even my family, my kids noticed that. And one time my daughter came to me and said, you know, Mom, you feel more relaxed, you are more happier. What's happening? What did you do? What was your secret and your secret ingredient? I told her, you know, Mom, and she was all still too young, maybe around 7, 8 years old. I told her it was really simple. It was about mindset. I wanted to be, I started to hear more and to know more about how we can be more positive and happier in life. So that was about my personal development learning. Then I wanted to go through my personality type. I knew that there is a lot of types of personality, and it wasn't so easy maybe to deal with everyone the same way. To reduce conflict all over me, I started by myself. What is my personality type? What I like, what I don't like, and how I can deal with others. And really, it's something very interesting whenever you know that it's not your reaction or your action, it's not only depending on your person, but it can be tempted by a personality type. It will be easier to overcome challenges. And for me, it was something like if someone was saying anything that bothers me, uh, I will not take it personally if I know which character I'm dealing with. Uh, there are a lot of personality types. I advise you to try some of them. There are free of charge sometimes, and sometimes if it's paid, but it's worth it because we can go deeper and deeper in knowing ourselves. Whenever we know who we are and how we can deal with others, or how others can deal with us, conflict will be reduced, and challenges definitely will be reduced too. Um, so this is okay. For a period of time, I started to be allergic to negative people, and I removed them from my life in a way that I wanted something positive to happen. I didn't want anymore to be affected by negativity. And I believe that whenever we are surrounded by positive people and positive minds, like we are tonight, and like the female wave of change is spreading all over, definitely we will have a positive change somehow, somewhere. So maybe my friends are less now, but in a way, but I'm sure that looking at you and being with you, I will have more friends, more positive, and really aiming for a good change. So for that, it was really nice to remove all negative people from my life. I'm still doing that. Tip number 3, it was about gathering information. Whenever I was facing a challenge, I was asking too much questions about this challenge. I was asking from people that they have experience in that, or maybe they don't have any idea, but they might came with any idea that might be helpful for me. So asking too much, it's something that I learned from my dad, and he was telling me, you don't have anything to lose. You can ask. Either you have your own answer, the answer that you wanted, either not. So either you accept it or you leave it. It won't cost you anything. And the second issue, it was about brainstorming solutions. It was something like really helpful, because whenever we can write down what are the possible solutions for this challenge, it will be also good for us. The third point, like when I was gathering information, it was something about creativity. And to tell you a small secret, that I had a friend, a life coach friend, that she wanted something one time to, she asked me to have a test about what are my strength points and my weaknesses, like a SWOT analysis. And when I have done my this test, I noticed, and she noticed, that the creativity was number 1 in my test. And she said, wow, you have the creativity, so are you using this strength? I told her, no, I know that everyone's telling me you have good ideas, you are creative, but I never invest in this creativity and this point. So since then, every time I was facing a challenge and I feel that I will not be able to solve it or to overcome it, I was thinking to her again, and I was saying that I'm creative. I should find something to overcome this challenge. And it gives me a boost. That I'm telling you this because sometimes we do have strengths that we don't know that you can use them. And once we are aware about these strength points, they will be helpful also to overcome any challenge that we might have. Tip number 4, it was my big challenge to ask for help. For me, it was like asking if I ask for help as if I'm weak. I was really afraid to ask for this help. I thought that asking for help means that I'm weak, and I noticed that it wasn't. It was a sign of strength. I was really not aware about this. I wanted to be the Wonder Woman. It's not only the Wonder Woman. So I didn't ever ask for help. I wanted to do everything by myself. I noticed that I cannot do that, and whenever I noticed that, even the challenges and the problems were reduced. So tip number 4, don't be afraid to ask for help. Now, I just forgot to tell you that at the end there are 10 tips, so you will wait for 6 more. Tip number 5 is about the motivation. It was about high motivation. As we know, sometimes when we are in a big problem, facing a big issue, we might be demotivated. We might think that it's the end of the world, we cannot continue, we cannot achieve that, we cannot overcome it, or whatever. So it's not easy to keep the motivation high. Just for me, it was I learned a technique. Whenever I'm facing this demotivation, I was thinking in my mind why I went through this and what was the end of this goal and what will be the plus to achieve or to reach this goal. In a way, it makes me happier, and I want to go through every challenge I will face in order to achieve this goal. So I was boosting my energy and my motivation more and more. So it was one of my techniques. You will tell me more if you have another one. I'll be more than happy. Tip number 6, it was about the assessment. It's very important whenever we are having a plan, setting a plan and working on it, to do this assessment from time to time and to measure where we are considering this goal or where we are considering this challenge and what we'll be doing in the next few X time. So if we were happy, if I were happy, I was happy with the result, I was keep doing what I'm doing. And if not, I was changing the plan, which is good. I was always changing the plan, but never quit. I wanted to continue till the end. It was for me the learning of all what's happening around. Tip number 7, it was about rewarding yourself. It wasn't something very easy to learn, but once I tried it, I would never stop it again. It's about never underestimate the success or the learning till today. Seriously, it is a must. Maybe here we're seeing an ice cream. Sometimes I was just rewarding myself by going to a spa for an hour, a month, or maybe to buy a gift and to wrap it and to open it at house. So happy to receive a gift from me to me. It's good to feel that, and even if it's a learning, it's a good learning. So it's not always rewarding yourself whenever we are having a success story. It's also when we are learning something new. So it's a continuous rewarding, continuous gifts all over. Tip number 8, it was about the stress. We are human, and at the end, we cannot package everything and say, you know, I have a positive mindset, I will never stress out, I will never be under stress, I'll be always happy. It's not true. Sometimes we will get out of our what's happening around and we will feel that we have this stress. It's good to have in mind that we can go out in nature, either just to get a fresh air, to exercise, or to do shopping. The less expensive is to go out in nature. So it's up to you if you are stressed in the beginning of the month, in the middle of, or at the end. So you will decide. Tip number 9, it's about the commitment. Commit to succeed. It means commit to face the challenge. Whenever I'm committed to face this challenge, it's about writing down everything what's happening. It's good. I took this into also from a friend who told me that it's nice to write down every night what did I do, did happen this day? What was the learning? Where I failed? And what was the success about the story? It was nice because sometimes we are afraid to put them down on a paper. Once we write them down, we feel that, okay, so now they are on the paper. I can read them. I can see them for next time, and I can maybe ignore them and throw them. But it's good for us to take action about what's happening with us the whole day. And whenever we're committed to the challenge, we feel this success. It's nice to feel it. It's a nice feeling. And then we can go again to reward ourselves. As now for the tip number 10, it's the most important for me, other than having faith, love, and remove negative people all around. Also, it's about being grateful. Being grateful, it's a value that for me it's very important, and that I try to help my kids also to be grateful, because whatever happens in our lives, it's a lesson. So we are grateful to have this lesson. Sometimes the lesson costs us too much. Sometimes it will be so easy to be learned. The second issue is the attitude. And the attitude is really something very important, because it's a magnet, like it said here. What you think is what you attract. So if we have always this positive attitude, this energy in our how we face the challenges, and we are always ready to be here, so it will help us to move forward and to reduce the challenges. And I don't know if you know this attitude. It's if we add all the numbers, A like 1, T like 20, and so on, we'll have a 100%. So attitude is everything. If we try to do the same thing for love, for motivation, grateful, happy, we will not have 100%. So 100% for the attitude is really everything. And here I can say thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed what I learned, and to share your ideas also. Thank you. Thanks, Bonnie.
Thank you very much, Roula. Very interesting. I would like the others to participate in their questions and feedback and discussion. You can stop sharing your screen so that we can see everyone.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Oh, yes, there is one question, Janneke.
Well, first, thank you, Roula, for your very interesting insights you gave us.
Thank you, Janneke.
Yeah, all 10 tips are really good. And may I go further into tip number 4? It was about asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
And what I learned in life is that when you ask somebody a question, and it can be help, it can be some other thing, you're doing justice to the humanity of that person. So when you ask somebody for help, you're giving them a very big gift. Because
yes, true.
Do you understand?
Yes, true. And I noticed that I wasn't aware about it. And when I noticed that, so it was about win-win situation at the end. It wasn't something that really just for me.
Yes, because when you ask somebody a question, you're going to interact with that person, and when we interact, we become human. So I think asking help is really key, because that in the end it makes us even. It's building bridges and so on.
True.
So thank you.
Thank you, Janneke.
Very nice. Yeah. Okay, one of the others, Bonnie.
Thank you so much. It's always so good to hear others express some of what we think and some of what we've never thought about. So thank you very much for that.
Wow.
I'd like to come back to something that you said, which I just loved. You said obstacles are the path. Correct? I understood you right? You said obstacles are the path.
Obstacles are a path. Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Because it's a learning. Yeah, I said that because it was like a learning to move forward in our journey.
Well, I love hearing that, because without those obstacles, we wouldn't stretch ourselves. We wouldn't be overcoming fear. We would not be able to test the unknown. And for me, that one little phrase, I thought that's a good one to put on a tweet, because obstacles are the path. And they're the path to the future. They're the path to success. They're the path to whatever we decide will be there. So thank you for that. And I also wanted to come back to the ask for help, which Inke just also mentioned, because I find that is something that women especially have a hard time with. It's like an intrusion on somebody else's territory. And yet when we stop and look at what an honor and a privilege and a sign of respect almost it is when people ask us questions. I just, as was said before, it actually is a gift, and one of the greatest gifts we offer somebody else, because it is saying, you know something that I don't. And I think these are all great keys to our authentic feminine leadership as well. So thank you for all of that.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thanks a lot.
Some of the others, questions. Well, I have a question. Roula, because, well, as female wave of change and facing obstacles and you know, creating new futures, you know, there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of motivation needed. There is a lot of, you know, people needed who will be inspiring others. You live in a region in the Middle East. Is it are the women in the Middle East facing other challenges than women in the other areas of the world?
I think yes, because we don't have a lot of laws that accept us as women, and we don't have the minimum that we need as women. Here it's a political issue, maybe it's a religion issues, all that it's combined to give us the minimum. Even we don't have this minimum that it's required. So on a personal level, I feel that the first challenge is the awareness that we need to give, first of all, for women, and second for men. Because if we're only talking about women, and at the end of the day, men should be part of it.
Yes.
So the awareness that we need to give for them to overcome this challenge, it's about what is really that the self-confidence. We are missing sometimes of this self-confidence. And when I said, you know, at the beginning, I said I plan, act, and succeed. And I'm happy to say succeed because usually you don't have to say it as if it's something like uh, it's not good to say that you are succeeding. You should only um, work on it. But because sometimes you feel that you lose your self-confidence whenever you're not into it. It's one of the challenges that we need to move to focus on and to work on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have the same in in Europe. I don't know.
Someone else who wants to respond? Yeah, Bonnie?
Roula, as you know, or maybe you don't, I have a mentoring program for authentic feminine leadership, and it's cross cultures. So there are women basically around the world in the program. And what I find absolutely fascinating is that perhaps to a greater or lesser degree, depending on where the women are located, the issues are the same for all of us.
Yes,
Which
I
makes
think so.
your story such a potent one. Because what you are saying is what women are saying in Malawi and Sri Lanka and the United States. Sorry, they always ring at the wrong time.
It's okay.
So, one, in answer to the question just asked, but two, also to just emphasize how important your message is.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about your program, but it's good to know about it. If you can later on share it with me, and maybe we can do something about it here, even in the Middle East.
Thank you. I would like that very much because we do not yet have a woman from your area. So I will be in contact with you.
Definitely. Definitely. I'll be more than happy to do that.
Thank you. Are you going to be at the event in Holland?
I was supposed to be there. I had a problem with my visa, and it seems my Schengen visa will end on the 19th of September. I should be in Lebanon on the 18th. So I couldn't go, and it will take time to do another one. So it was one of our projects with Ingun when we were talking about this event, but I would love to maybe the next one, or we'll be doing something in the Middle East, so you will be here also as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Can I say something? Can you hear me?
Yep, Saskia.
Yes. Thank you, Roula, for your presentation. It was really interesting.
Thank you, Saskia.
I was wondering, because when you speak about challenges, I think it also has to do with our perception about what we are facing.
Definitely.
So, because, and I think that we have the tendency as women to label something that we are facing that we find difficult as a challenge, while in actual fact it may be something that can be an opportunity, or it's something that we can grow from.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would in a sense would like to make a plea that maybe we should change also our perception about what we see as obstacles or what we see as difficulties.
Definitely. It's about mindset. It's always like that. And this is, it's by practicing. Whenever we're practicing this, how to see the different angles of the challenge or the problem, it will be in a positive way. So it will become either an opportunity, a learning, or we will do something else with it.
Yes, but I think personally, I don't know how you feel about it, that sometimes we really have to pull ourselves with force out of our comfort zone.
Definitely, each time.
If we just do it with little things step by step, I wonder whether we really, first of all, whether we really are doing what we want to do, which we call a challenge, or is it just that we're trying out things without really challenging ourselves? So sometimes there are, let's say, small steps that you can take, but sometimes you have to jump, you know, you have to just close your eyes and jump and then see what happens. So probably I wonder whether you recognize that there are different types of challenges, the small ones, which maybe keep us more in our comfort zone, but the more big ones are the most interesting ones probably.
Definitely, because some challenges are different styles, sometimes different weight and different design. But we're talking about the challenge in general. Definitely, sometimes we don't have to step out of our comfort zone. It's easier.
Yeah.
We just play with it.
Yeah.
I think it's about also experience and maturity and what we are facing all over the day and all over the years, no? Don't you agree with me?
Yes, I think so. No, I do agree. But yeah, well, I have noticed that in my life that, yeah, it's the big challenges which are the most interesting ones, and that's the most hard ones to face.
True. And
just,
it will create some scars also.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for the tips.
Thank you, Saskia. Thank you.
Well, I do believe that what you also mentioned, your positive mindset is very helpful in this way. You know, you don't see it as challenges or obstacles or things like that. It's if you look at things in a positive way, it's much easier to overcome. Yesterday I did a post because Louisa Hay died of Hay Publishing Company. Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't know. Oh. Well, she was 90 years old. It's, you know, it's a very respectable age.
Wow.
But this was someone with a very, very positive mindset, and she touched eyes with it. And she said, well, you know, I cross all bridges with joy and ease. You know, it's an obstacle, but you know, her mindset was so positive that, you know, she doesn't look at it as a challenge or as an obstacle. It was just part of that path. Yeah. I love the picture that I didn't want a picture of her with a quote, but it was this picture. I don't know. You can look it up on Facebook. I am safe. It's only change.
Yeah. I noticed she was honored yesterday, I think. I saw that on Facebook also.
Yeah. She did great things. But it was her positive mindset that got her through a lot of things, but also the reason why she touched so many lives. Yeah, and especially in an era, in a time that we will be facing so much change, to look upon it as, you know, just part of the path. I like that what you said, just part of the path, or you know, just. It's part of your life and you will become stronger. So that's a great way to look at it.
And this is what the female wave of change will add to all this change. It's about this positive mind that will be inserted each time that we're doing these kind of small events. It will help people to remind themselves that they are in a good group, maybe spreading positivity, and at least if I'm feeling down or demotivated, whenever I joined again, it will help me to a support in a way. So it's a good mission also whenever we feel that we're weak somehow, without any judgment or prejudgment, to support each others in a positive way to overcome the challenge. And it will be easier for everyone here in the room or outside later on to feel that this supportive spirit all over will help us to resolve more, overcome more challenges.
I really like that. And I think it's a real great way to finish off this evening. Thank you very, very much, Roula. I want to,
Thank you.
how do you pronounce your name? We did not. Roula.
Roula.
And then your last name?
Sawan. Eid is my birth name, my birth name.
Okay.
Sawan is my husband's name.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want it easiest, it will be Roula Sawan.
Roula Sawan. Well, thank you very, very much for a very interesting evening.
Thank you.
You will meet more of us because, you know, here tonight there are wave makers, there are change makers, there are ambassadors, there are board members. So you will have a chance to meet all of us in the months to come. Please do get in touch. You know, in between in the time, it's really great to reach out and support each other. You know, it's that's what I loved about your Facebook. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It will be online starting tomorrow, and well, I still think that we did have some time issues, because I do believe that especially the people who signed up from your area are not online. So we did have a time issue this morning. So I do believe that there's.
I think so.
Yeah, it's.
Knowing that, I had some messages asking that they thought it's 11. It showed it at our place as if it's 11 p.m. So I didn't know what happened, but anyway, it's okay.
Okay, next time we will do the whole world clock.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
it's
thanks
okay.
again. Have a great
Thank you,
ladies, and talk to you soon.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.